time. It's time to improve a few things, a few habits, if you know what I mean. So I am going to focus because, oh dear, life is full of habits, so many habits. If you missed it last week, I did an episode of the good habits I have as a homemaker. And this week, we're going to focus on how I am improving some habits to be a better homemaker. So there's just one or two or a few things that is really bothering me and that I'm really choosing to work on. And I'm going to share that with you because I think it helps you to know that you're not alone in your struggles and your bad habits that needs to be improved. Maybe it gives you an idea, or at the least, I pray that this will motivate you, that you can also improve your habits. But first and foremost, everything that I am actually going to get right from this video and actually really improve, I just right now want to give the glory to God, because every single habit that I'm going to work on for the next 2-3 weeks on this video is going to be handled in prayer. I am going to ask God which habits He wants me to improve, and I'm going to take every single habit to Him and ask Him to guide me to have the ideas and the creativeness on how to handle this and how to do it. And if I succeed, then the glory goes to Him. If I don't succeed, I'm just going to keep working and keep praying on it. And so I do. So the first 4 habits that I'm working on, and I'll check in with you probably once a week, and I'll let you know when I'm going to add more habits. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a habit tracking system. So I'm going to write down which habit I feel like I should work on and why I want to work on that habit, and what is my plan of action on working on that habit? Like, what approach am I going to take? First 4 habits that I'm going to work on is firstly, it's kind of a 2-in-1, is set out my clothes at night and get dressed in the morning as soon as I get out of bed. Because in the middle of the day, I would still be in my pajamas, and then everything would feel kind of behind, or the day would feel like it's running away from me, even though I did sometimes the same things. But I feel like when I have clothes on, I just work faster, more productive. I feel more like working instead of slouching around. And it just helps me get going faster. So that is something that I really, really want to improve. In the summer, it's not a problem, but it's winter. And my winter mindset is something that I always have to battle with. I really get kind of winter blues. And last year, I started preparing for it. And it worked. So this year, I'm handling it. I am renewing my mind. So we're going to do that. I'm going to get out my clothes and I am going to get dressed in the morning as soon as I get out of bed. I did think about making like a whole B-roll shot of every single habit, but honestly, to me and my mom brain and my busy children, like, I just feel like that would be overwhelming. So when and if I can, I will give you some footage of that, but I am not going to stress over it, because actually starting and changing new habits is already difficult enough. I'm not going to add on to that I need to have my camera, because if I need to film every habit, then I'm probably just not going to do it. So I want to make this easy on myself. And maybe in the future we'll do like another checkup a month later of how it's going, and then I can do that when it's actually already a part of my system, you know. The second habit that I'm going to work on is less TV, because what would happen is we would go into the TV living room area to read Bible in the morning after breakfast, because it's the warmest spot in the house. it's so cold in here. So we go there, sit on the couch, read Bible, and then I put the TV on to exercise or to put on some background music. And a lot of every time my children are like, can we watch something? And because I'm already on the couch and I'm already lazy, I say yes too many times. I don't say yes every day. And that is completely my fault and completely a bad habit that I started when the winter started getting very super cold. And I want to nip it in the bud as soon as possible. It's been probably 2 weeks now that that's been going that way. And I want to just cut it off because I don't want this to sit in as a normal. So less TV. I am going to basically, what I'm going to do that is we're going to just do Bible time in the kitchen. It's very cold, I know, but Bible time in the kitchen. Or if we sit on the couch, which I don't think is a good idea at all, because I just struggle to get up because it's cozy and it's warm and I'm still tired. So no, we're just not going to even think about that. So Bible time in the kitchen from now on. And if I go to put on the music or to exercise, nobody's allowed to sit their bum down, or me for that matter. So that's how I'm going to tackle that, this TV time. Then the fourth habit that I'm going to, no, third habit that I'm going to work on is no yelling. Like not less yelling, no yelling. And this is a whole process. And basically, I've been using all the tactics that you normally use, like bite your tongue, do your breathing exercises. Those actually work. I know it's silly, but they work. And I don't know, there's so many ways to actually overcome yelling. And I've made a few videos on yelling, but I could probably make a few more, honestly. So if you want more yelling videos, let me know in the comments. But what I'm going to add in this time is praying about it every single day and giving myself a punishment, or not a punishment, giving myself a consequence. If I yell, I need to whisper, or if I feel that I want to yell, I have to whisper. I'm going to literally put my hands on my mouth and I'm going to pray that God will help me to not yell. I am very practiced. I'm not going to say skilled because I'm not skilled at it, but I'm practiced at using yes language. I don't like using the word no for everything. Okay. So no should be, and no is basically to my children more like, wait, stop. It's more like a no. It kind of gets a reaction because I don't use it as often. So I use yes language. I'm kind of in the habit of doing that. So I think all of that together, prayer, all the tricks, all the skills, all the consequences, all the preparation, it's going to work. I literally wrote out a plan in my journal. If I feel like yelling for this reason, this is what I'm going to do. If I feel like yelling for this reason, this is what I'm going to do. And I also figured out why I was yelling in the first place. It's not because my children were bad. It was stupid lies in my head. So I figured that out. I took it to God and I don't even think about it anymore. I have my confidence back. I know where we're going. I know where we're planning on. I'm focusing on the journey of becoming a grown-up person, like we're becoming someone. We are not at the end stage. We're growing. And we're not going to yell anymore. We're not going to lose self-control anymore. And on that, I am going to focus on a new thing, which when I disciple or kind of discipline, and I don't mean like consequence disciplining, I mean like, say, for example, my toddler is struggling to share. what happens sometimes, or struggling to do her chores, or whatever the thing is, what I usually do is I preach. I'm a preacher. I obviously talk too much because, look at the length of this video. I just nap, 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 nap. Okay? That's a bad thing. Because when I preach, I can literally see that there's no one inside. There's no one anymore. It's just like, there's no one left. So it ain't working. Preaching, I know preaching doesn't work. So I'm going to try and change that, stop myself from doing that. And that is kind of just a personality thing. Sorry. Itchy. Something bit me. That's just my personality. I love to preach and I love to talk too much. So I know what the better option is, and I'm gonna really focus in on discipling and disciplining with questions a bit more. So I'm gonna ask questions. That's my plan. Why not? What is the reason? What? I don't know. Maybe I'll write down the questions as I think of them, and then, some of the questions. Oh no, there's 2 else now. I've been bitten by a spider. Oh, I most definitely bitten by a spider. Ow. Okay, so, it just so badly. So those are the first 4 habits that we're going to work on for the first week. If I get a full streak, I am going to add more. If I don't get a full streak, I'm not allowed to add more. That's how this game is going to work. We're going to do it. Let me know down in the comments below what habits you are going to choose to improve as a homemaker. Please subscribe. Okay. While I get ready for the day in the middle of the morning, I wanted to just give you an update. So I've been really working on these habits that I want to improve, and really memorizing scriptures, helping myself figure this out, and just to really intentionally work on it and not just, do it all fluff. Trying but never getting anywhere is kind of the way I felt. So, hold up. The washing machine is going crazy. Okay, so anyway, so far I have for an entire week now set on my clothes the night before, every single night, and I have been able to get dressed every single morning, even though sometimes, like today, I kind of get ready a little bit later on, brushing my hair or my teeth or just getting my face together. I don't do makeup every day when I'm at home, but I only make up when I film or when we're going out. Today we're going out on a little fun play date. Anywho, so I've been able to get dressed and set my clothes out every single night and every single morning, which is amazing. It's an amazing one. I'm no longer in pajamas by 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and then having to get dressed. So that has been really, really great. Also, I have most definitely, for the first time in a while, been able to successfully stop yelling. So I've been working on not yelling for a long time, a really long time. And I have lots of tips and tricks that I do to not yell, but I've always had this every now and again, like losing my control, a little bit, or really struggling just to keep it up. So kind of what I did, short summary, is figure out what is the root cause of the yelling. And no, it's not my children's behavior, because I set the tone and I choose whether I'm gonna yell and then self-control, or whether I'm gonna stay gentle and graceful and do it that way. So taking my thoughts captive and all of that. But what has really been helping me is figuring out, okay, why do I yell? Because I've been working on getting my nervous system regulated for a long time, and it's finally showing the results of that work in the way of not yelling. So I've been taking lots of breathing, obviously, which is something I've always done, but something new, like you can watch my previous videos on yelling where I give all my tips, but something new that I've done is really figured out, why am I yelling? What is the source of that? And taking that to God. I'm really like, okay, God, so you have showed me that this is actually the problem. And now I'm asking you to help me overcome that problem and really give it to you and walk away from all these fears and imaginary thoughts of what's going to come one day, or being insecure, but rather be confident in my choices and consistent. And because yelling doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, the kids freeze maybe when you yell, but it's because they're afraid. It's not teaching them anything. It's not discipling them. It's not teaching them a lesson. It's just causing shame and humiliation. And that's not what I want to do. So I first pray. I walk away. I take a deep breath. I do all the things, okay, all the things. But the new thing I've been doing is whispering, even having a consequence of, if I lose control, I have to whisper for 10 minutes. And I had to do that for like 2 days, and I just immediately clicked. And I literally put my hand on my mouth sometimes. But I've been really also focusing on asking my questions, asking the question of, is this thing that's making me angry more important than the connection and relationship with my child? And that helps me to snap out of it and use a coping mechanism and skill to actually then regulate my own emotions. And you know what? My child has not been yelling for the past few days at us or at her brother. So that really shows me that it is working. And I have literally been keeping track of yelling, and I haven't yelled for 8 days now. Once. I haven't lost self-control for 8 days now. Once. Even during hard moments, even during tired moments, even when I felt like crying, even when unsuspecting things happened. Really getting out of that victim mentality, and it's all by the grace of God. Like, I can't tell you that I'm doing this through this and this and this skill, because yes, I am applying lots of skills and I am applying lots of habits. But ultimately, it's the Lord that helps me, that gives me wisdom, that helps me catch it before it happens. And I've really been seeing improvement. Another habit that I really nailed for the past few weeks is discipling them with questions. I just stop and ask questions, and I'm like, and not like, do you think that was a good choice, or do you think that's kind behavior? That obviously we both know the answer. We both know it wasn't.
I would rather say something like, say for example, my daughter is getting mad at my baby not wanting to share something, then I would say something like, you are teaching him the way that you want him to treat you, and you are showing him let me rephrase that. You are teaching him how to treat you. So kind of on like Matthew 7 verse 12, which says, do unto others what you would have them do to you. So, and also kids learn through modeling, right? So I'm telling her, you're teaching him what you want him to do, and you are choosing what your brain is thinking. And I'm kind of teaching her how to take her thoughts captive. And I would say like, so are you going to choose to think of your brother as a bother? Or are you going to choose to think as he loves you so much, he just wants to spend all of his time with you, and you are going to choose him how to play with you while respecting your space? And then we'll walk through like a few ideas of what you could do instead. How to maybe wait patiently, how to distract him, how to tell him what he can do, and things like that. And just like asking these questions of, how are you choosing to think? How can we take this lie and turn it into truth? What would be a kind way of saying that? And letting her redo it. Like if she says something in a snarky tone, then I'd say, okay, we gotta redo that. How can we say the same words in a kind way, in a nice way, that was solidly on my skin and burning me. I spray on my clothes because that burns. All right, I look somewhat like a human being, a little wild human being, but a mom nonetheless. So kind of like, asking these questions to help her phrase it in a nice tone, use it kindly, and I've really been focusing on setting that example and out loud taking my thoughts captive and out loud teaching her how to do things. I don't know, like I've been doing all of this for months, but finally it's starting to work. Finally, it's working, and I think it's because I made actionable plans on how to respond instead. I made actionable plans on how to improve this habit, and I'm not overloading myself. I'm only focusing for this 2 weeks on getting clothes out at night, putting clothes on in the morning, not yelling, asking questions. That's my 4 habits that I'm focusing on, and that's it. Anything else that I do well is a bonus. The rest of the habits is going to come. So what I've actually been noticing that I'm doing is I'm closing my kitchen at night, like properly closing it. And that is just happening. And it's a habit that I want to work on, but it's just kind of happening naturally. I'm not sure why. Wonderful one. That's my update. So I guess I'll see you again for another update. But it's been 8 days now, and those 4 habits are really, really doing well. On that yelling topic, another thing I did was I was thinking what kind of behaviors were making me mad. And one of the things was my daughter not doing her chores, and then my son screaming when he's frustrated. So what I did with my son is every time he screams, I say something like, ay, 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 or oh no, so that he copies me. And then instead of screaming, he says that after a while, and that's really been working. It's really been helpful. And with my daughter, I went and I looked at her chores and I was like, okay, clearly she's struggling to do this. It's not because it's too hard, because she's been doing it for probably 2 years now, those specific chores. So I was like, okay, maybe she just needs to switch it up a little bit. So I changed some of her chores. I changed it around. Okay, so update. I dropped the ball a little bit. just a tad. So yesterday I was extremely tired. I don't know, like the exhaustion just hit me with a bang. And I did do a little bit more screen time than I was supposed to do. We probably sat in front of the TV for maybe an hour and a half, I think. But it's one day. It's one day. And it's done now. And I did not get dressed, obviously. Yes, so there's my clothes already. Set it out last night. But I fell asleep in my son's bedroom, and it's about 9:30 now. And I haven't even been in my bedroom yet today. So right now, I came in. I'm going to get dressed. It's a late, slow morning. But it's good. It's okay. I'm going to give myself grace for days like that when that happens. But I'm not going to oh, now everything's messed up and I dropped the ball. I'm just going to keep the rhythm, keep it going, and keep doing my best. And I feel like this habit stuck because I got a little irritated with not being dressed already. So I think this habit is stuck and I got it down. So there's that.